City boy, city boy. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy, Nate the Great, back with another video. And you know we gotta go ahead and do a WrestleMania Night 2 review, baby. Okay, now, I have a lot of things that I want to say about tonight. A lot of things that I want to say about WrestleMania 41 overall. And this show, was it a better show tonight? Was night 2 better than night 1? Obviously, we're not going to sit here and act like it wasn't, right? But overall, both of these nights of WrestleMania, they both were just massively underwhelming. Imagine you pay $15,000 for some front row seats at tonight's WrestleMania event, and you're expecting The Rock at some point to show up. Imagine that. You're expecting The Rock to show up. You paid $15,000. 15 grand. You're expecting The Rock to show up. You're expecting a big spectacle of a main event because this is John Cena's 17th potential, which we will get to, world title. So you're expecting a spectacle of a main event match. And you get what was a decent match, don't get me wrong. Very old school, nice and slowed down, just a straight beat down from beginning to end pretty much. Imagine you pay all that money and you get Travis Scott. You don't get Stone Cold. You don't get The Rock. You don't even get a fucking Taker. Not even a Randy Orton. Straight down the middle and a little bit of interference from Travis Scott. Could you imagine how, I'm glad I'm not going to be on the road tonight out here in Vegas, man. I'm glad I'm not going to be on the road tonight. I'm glad I just watched that shit on... I'm glad I just watched that shit on TV because there's no possible way spending all that money, thousands and thousands of dollars, just to be disappointed because there was no Rock. No Rock, man. That shit is crazy. This is one of the biggest missteps in WWE history right here. Let's go ahead, run down this card, man, and we'll get into everything. So we start off with Eio Sky versus Bianca versus Rhea. All right. Now, this match was, it was okay. It was definitely a lot better than freaking Gunther versus Jey Uso as an opener. The crowd was hyped. The crowd was loving all the spots, loving all the moves. And there were a couple of moves where I was like, yeah, these are pretty damn good. These are pretty damn cool spots, this, that, and the other. But it doesn't take away from the shit build that we got. It doesn't take away from the lack of coherent storyline that we got. And that's the whole thing that's supposed to get us excited about this match, right? Now Eio Sky came out. She got no pop. Next to no pop. Bianca came out next and she got a middling reaction, a lot more people were reacting to this one. Not as many boos as she's been getting lately. And she just looked absolutely exceptional in that. A woman after my own heart, man. I'm trying to tell you, man. She's just been looking so damn good lately. And then tonight she comes out in the gold with the roses on it. And woo! Oh my goodness. If there was any man that I'd want to switch spots with right now in the world, and I never want to switch spots with anybody because I love this life that I live. But if there's any man I want to switch spots with right about now, it's Montez Ford. Let me tell you, bro. Let me tell you. Rhea Ripley comes out next, and obviously she's over like Rover. All right. And yeah, like I said, this match was okay at the very best. I give this a solid 6 out of 10. There are a lot of spots in this match. It just once it gets to a certain point where there's just so many spots in a match, and I get it, it's WrestleMania, you want to pull out all the stops, but it really takes me out. It just really takes me out, because I'm trying to believe here that these bitches want to beat the dog shit out of each other, but when everybody's doing flippy dippies and everybody's all over the place and it's spot after spot after spot after spot, it's just I start to my suspension of disbelief is then broken, and I realize once again that all of this is fake. But if you like this match, I have, obviously that's completely on you, right? Like, I respect that opinion, like I said, this was a decent match, right? Like, but if you thought it was better than decent, if you thought it was great, then I can understand where you're coming from with that. All the women got their spots in. There weren't too many botches here. There wasn't too much downtime in this match. So it was definitely a good match overall. Eio Sky ends up picking up the victory, and this is how she does it. Bianca Belair hits, Bianca Belair, I believe she hit the KOD on Ria Ripley, right? Eio Sky's up at the top rope. She comes down for the over the moonsault on top of Bianca Belair and Ria Ripley, and Bianca Belair ends up eating the pin. So now I do have an issue with this. This is one of those ones I did not predict. I thought Bianca was going to win tonight. But Bianca ended up being the one that took the pin. I have a lot of different issues with this. My main issue is the fact we've talked about it many times before already, but we'll talk about it again right now. Bianca Belair is the only one that earned a title shot in this whole entire scenario. Let me remind you once again how we got here, just in case you forgot, because this is not a memorable build, like I said before. This match got set up a couple of months ago, right? Based off the fact that Eio Sky, she was going to go into a Elimination Chamber qualifying match with Liv Morgan. Raquel Rodriguez was outside of the ring, and she was causing a ruckus out there. Rhea Ripley comes down the ramp to try to even the odds and try to help out Eio Sky a little bit. And obviously she just doesn't like Liv Morgan and Raquel. So, she wants to get some beats on them anyways. Now, what ends up happening is after Rhea pretty much takes Raquel out of the equation, Liv Morgan comes out to the outside and lays a hard smack on Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley then retaliates from this smack. Okay, she retaliates, almost like a muscle reaction, just a quick reaction, right? And because of this, the match gets called off, and Liv Morgan ends up winning. So from then, Eio had a big issue with Rhea Ripley. Nothing crazy, but she just said, you cost me my match at Elimination Chamber. I'm going to get back at you, right? I don't fuck with you no more, right? That whole thing. So then a couple of weeks passed, and Eio Sky gets a match with Rhea Ripley the night after Elimination Chamber. So Eio Sky didn't have to win the Royal Rumble. Eio Sky didn't have to win the Elimination Chamber. Eio Sky complained that she got screwed out of a match at Elimination Chamber, and then she was gifted a title shot. Bianca Belair goes on to win at the Elimination Chamber, right? She goes on to win at Elimination Chamber and put on a great performance, if I do say so myself. It was a good match, good Elimination Chamber, in my own opinion. She goes on, puts off that great show, and the next night she shows up for the match between between Rhea and Io. Bro, Rhea Ripley distracted herself. She distracted herself because her and Io were outside of the ring, about to get counted out, both of them. It was looking like it was going to be a double count out. Bianca Belair is clapping for both of them to get back into the ring. Rhea Ripley makes it into the ring first. Bianca's clapping for Io to hop back in the ring. And Rio gets back in the ring at the 9 count. Rhea Ripley then gets out of the ring, walks up to Bianca, talking about, what, you scared of me? You don't want to face me at WrestleMania? This, that, and the other. She pushes Bianca. Bianca slaps Rhea. So in just the month before this, in that logic, the ref should be like, oh, well, I'm throwing this match out and Rhea wins. But no, the ref doesn't do that. The ref instead comes outside, gets between them, and tells Rhea to get back in the ring. We're not doing this right now, is what the ref said. Rhea gets back in the ring. She's showing off. She wants to hit a fucking riptide from the top rope. Eio Sky turns that around into like a hurricane runner or some shit like that. And over the moonsault, Rhea gets pinned in the middle of the ring, clean, by Eio Sky, who did not earn this shot, by the way. Like, let me just reiterate that. She did not earn that title shot. She was gifted that title shot. Then for the next few weeks, Rhea complains multiple times. She's just complaining and bitching and crying and moaning, talking about Bianca distracted me. Bianca distracted me. And she then gets gifted a spot in this match for which she did not earn. So Io and Rhea, both two bitches, like, who did not earn a spot in this WrestleMania. Rhea lost her spot, and then she just gets gifted it back. And then Bianca Belair, not necessarily the odd woman out, because she was the one that earned this, but she's the one who gets pinned at WrestleMania. She's the one who has to fall on the booze. She's the one who has to fall on the sword of Triple H's shit booking. And she has to get pinned at this WrestleMania. I have a lot of issues with this finish. If anybody was going to get pinned, it should have been Rhea Ripley once again. But that was that. Let me know what y'all thought about that match, and we move the fuck on. All right. Next up, we got Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest. This, Sin City street fight, but it wasn't in the street, so I always have an issue with that. It always takes me out of it. Just call it a fucking no DQ match, bro. Just call it that, right? Call it a no holds barred match if you really want to. Don't call it a fucking street fight, bro, because it's not out in the street. They're not backstage. They're not doing anything crazy that we haven't seen before, right? But this match, it was a physical match. It was an all right match, okay? Drew McIntyre ends up picking up the win after he tossed Damian Priest off the ropes when Damian Priest was trying to go for the old school arm drag. Tossed him off the ropes into two tables that were set up outside. And then Drew Mac pulls him back into the ring, sets him up against a steel chair that was set up a few spots before this, set into the corner, and he hits him with the Claymore into the chair. 1, 2, 3. That was the win, and Drew McIntyre wins just like I predicted. And we move on because there's nothing to talk about here. This feud was over nothing. This was a nothing feud. All right. Next up, we got Penta versus Braun Breaker versus Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship. Now, this match, it was a good match as well, right? Like I said, most of these matches that happened tonight, they were just better objectively than the matches from night one. So you're going to be hearing a lot of that. This was a good match. I did predict that Dominic was going to win this one just based off of how the whole thing was set up. And Dom did end up winning this. So Dom was the one that took the first opportunity to turn on Finn. All right, kicked him in the back, tried to set him up for the 619. Finn ended up catching it and threw him down to the floor and started stomping a mud hole in his ass. Just stomping a full mud hole into Dominic's ass, and that was It was all right. You know what I'm saying? That was pretty fun. One of the fun spots in this match was freaking Braun Breaker, because Carlito was outside of the ring pretty much the entire match, and he was causing a ruckus the whole match. Carlito was, I think he was setting up, I want to say he was setting up Penta for something on the announce table, and Braun Breaker got on the other announce table, and he speared him from across the announce table and broke the announce table. So that was a really fun spot. But yeah, Dom ends up winning this match, and let me explain to you how he did it. And tell me if this sounds familiar, right? So I believe it was Braun Breaker. He hit Penta with a spear, right? He hit Penta with a spear. I want to say Finn Balor came in after that. Dominic was about to get ready to hit fucking Braun Breaker with something from the top rope. Yeah, because Finn Balor, he was outside. He was outside at the time. So Dominic came in. He was getting ready to hit Braun Breaker with a 619. He hits him with the 619, goes up to the top rope for the splash. Finn Balor comes in. He knocks Dominic off of the top rope, and Finn Balor then hits Braun Breaker with the sling blade, hits him with the coup de grace. He's getting ready to pin him. Here comes Dominic off the top rope, off the top rope for the frog splash, and he ends up picking up the victory on Finn Balor. Now, does that sound familiar? Isn't that exactly the same finish that we got in the first match? Yes, it is, because there is no creativity in this company, not even a little bit. But Dominic Mysterio ends up winning his first singles title, where we don't count the North American title. We just don't, right? It's not the main roster title, so this is his first main roster title, singles title, I should say. So good on Dom. Dom's been putting in a lot of great work over the last few years, so I think he deserves this one. So yeah, that was that. We move on because there's nothing else to hear. We'll see what happens Monday as a result of this. Randy Orton then holds the open challenge. Okay. He comes out, says, this is my 20th WrestleMania. I'm ready to go. Let's make this shit happen. Whoever wants it out in the back, go ahead and come on out. And then we hear the music. Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Right? So Joe Hendry comes out. I'm excited, right? Because I like Joe Hendry. I don't watch TNA, right? I just don't watch TNA, right? So I haven't seen what he's been doing in TNA recently. I have seen a lot of his promos that he's done. I've seen the music videos that he's done. I've watched a lot of his stuff online. So I am a fan of Joe Hendry, and I do believe in Joe Hendry. And obviously he was at the Royal Rumble as well. So I was like, okay, this should be a good match, right? Joe Hendry comes out, and Joe Hendry gets jobbed out. Joe Hendry gets straight up jobbed out, embarrassed in the middle of the ring by Randy Orton. Now, I have a couple of different issues with this. And if I don't have an issue with this, TNA has to have an issue with this. Joe Hendry, if you don't know, is the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. Okay? Not mid-card title holder, not tag team title holder. He is the world champion. This match was less than 3 minutes. Joe Hendry got one good offensive move off in this match. One good, which was like a fall-away slam to Randy Orton. He hits his signature turnaround and smile for the camera. Randy Orton comes out of nowhere with the RKO. 1, 2, 3, and that is it. Joe Hendry got completely jobbed out here. This, like I said, this was a 2 to 3 minute match. This match was nothing at all. Good win for Randy, I guess, right? Randy ends up after the match picking up Joe Hendry again. And he raised up his hand. He's like, all these people, they were here. They were excited to see you. Good on you, kid. Whatever he was saying to him. Raises his hand up, shows him off to the crowd, and then boom, hits him with another RKO. And then Randy mocks his turnaround, right? His signature move, his little turnaround, smile to the camera. He turns around and he does this, his signature, hands in the air, right? Joe Hendry got completely jobbed out. I hated every second of this. I hated every single second of this. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I think Joe Hendry deserved a lot more. And like, when's the last time fucking Randy Orton won at a pay-per-view? And this is how he gets his 20th WrestleMania. His 20th WrestleMania spot is just a fucking, squash match, basically. This was terrible. This was horrible. And I had a bad taste in my mouth for the rest of the night. Next up, we got AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. This match, it was whatever. All right. It cooked a little bit in the ring, but not really. All right. It was pretty slow most of the time. But what I will say about this match is that it cemented Logan Paul as one of those next guys. He didn't have to cheat in this match, didn't use the brass knuckles, none of that, just straight up and down. He just beat AJ Styles. He just beat him clean in the middle of the ring. Jeb, I guess Logan Paul's friend, he's like been out there a few times and handed him the brass knuckles. He was out there getting ready to put the brass knuckles on the ring, and Karrion Kross ends up coming out. Karrion Kross catches him up, grabs the brass knuckles from him. AJ Styles hops out the ring, tosses Jeb away, and Karrion Kross is telling AJ Styles, like, look, just go ahead, put these brass knuckles on, knock him out, and let's move on. All right, this is like, just take him out of the game completely. AJ Styles takes the brass knuckles, throws them away, and punches Karrion Kross in the face. He hops on the ropes. He's getting ready to do the phenomenal forearm. Logan Paul reverses it, hits him with the titanium fist, and then hits him with the pulverizer. 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring. Logan Paul wins. All right, there's not much to say else about this match. Like I said, it was decent, because all of Logan Paul's matches are decent to good to great matches. Next up, we got Liv and Raquel versus Lyra Valkyria and what was supposed to be Bayley, but I guess Bayley got attacked last night by Liv and Raquel, and so Lyra Valkyria needed a partner. Lyra Valkyria brings out the one and only, the man, Becky Lynch. And, it's always good to see a wrestler come back, right? It's always good to see him come back. We haven't seen fucking Becky Lynch in damn near a year at this point. So it was good to see her again. I'm not a huge fan of Becky Lynch, not even in the slightest. I don't like that she calls herself the man. I don't know. It's just something personal that I have against it. But whatever. It was good to see her back. This match was pretty quick as well, like 5 to 10 minutes at most. At most, it was 10 minutes long. But Becky ends up picking up the win. She hits Liv with a manhandle slam. 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring. Lyra Valkyria is now Lyra 2 belts. All right. And Becky Lynch is, they're now tag team champions. So this team that has never worked together as a tag team before in the history of ever. Maybe they did like once before, but I'm not completely sure. I'm pretty sure they fought. I'm pretty sure they fought before, but I don't think they tag teamed together before. They came in and they beat the tag team champions, 3-time tag team champions, in Liv and Raquel. Just doesn't make any sense. And obviously there's no story here because Becky just came back, so there's nothing really else to talk about here. Next up, we got Stone Cold making his return, and the people blew the fucking roof off the goddamn Allegiant Stadium, man. It was great to see Stone Cold come back. But what does Stone Cold come back for? He comes back to announce the attendance, because they're lying to us about the attendance again, saying that last night there were 61,000 people. Tonight, hold on. Last night there were 61,000 people and it was sold out, right? It was sold out. That's what they said. 61,000 plus people and it was sold out. Tonight, there's 64,000 people in there and it's sold out. So which one is it, bruh? Which one is the sold out show? Which one is the actual number here? All right. Let's be fucking for real here. Now, don't try to insult my intelligence, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're trying to insult our intelligence. Sold out shows, 61,000 some odd fans. All right, and if you don't like that, we got 2 words for you. And then the next night, You got 64,000 in there, so that's a sold out show, and that's the bottom line because Stone Cold says so. Stone Cold cracks open about 6, 7, 8 beers, and he moves the fuck on. He did come down in a 4-wheeler. Just as a quick side note, he came down in a 4-wheeler and he fucking crashed the 4-wheeler into the barricade and like almost hit a fan or some shit like that. That was kind of funny. I think the security and like some of the backstage personnel that came out and they were talking to them the whole time. So they're probably going to get like some merch and some shit like that, some pictures and shit with Stone Cold and, some people back in the locker room. So look out for that. But next up, we get the main event. Yes, we are already at the main event because this show was nothing. This is not a good WrestleMania card, all right? We got John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. Now, John Cena, he came out all blacked out, except the jorts, of course, but all blacked out, black shirt, black shoes, black hat, you know what I'm saying? The black knee pads, everything black, all right? He came out, the stage was black, all right? There was no video package for him. Everything was just black. It just black screen with white words that said John Cena, right? White lettering that said John Cena. White lettering down the ramp of the black ramp to say John Cena. This was awesome for me. I like that a lot. All right. I wish that John Cena had been coming out like this for the majority, like for all of his heel run. But it was good to see that he did at least something different here. Something that showed that he was now a heel. So that was good. Cody Rhodes then comes out in all his Mark glory, and they showed a graphic. We talked about this the other day, but we got to talk about it real quick right now. 378 days. 378 days. Over a year as champion, and this motherfucker did his ninth. This was his ninth title defense in 378 days. This is his third title defense within the last 8 months. Worst WWE champion of all time. I don't care. I don't give a shit. Cody Rhodes is awful. I hope he never gets his way back anywhere near a WWE championship again. All right, send that sumbitch right down to the mid card and let's move the fuck on with our lives. All right, now Cody was getting booed throughout this entire match. All right, nobody wanted to see Cody Rhodes win. Everybody wanted to see John Cena pick up his 17th. Everybody did. This is what it is. And this is the reason why Triple H has been very reluctant to put Cody Rhodes up against anybody who has bigger star power than him. That's why Cody Rhodes has been fighting nothing but mid-card jobbers his entire reign. Because if he puts Cody Rhodes in the ring with a Roman Reigns again, with a LA Knight, with a John Cena, right, with a Rock, Cody Rhodes will always be the odd man out, the one getting booed. Doesn't matter if the other guys are heels or not. Cody Rhodes is not a star. He is not a big name. He is a corporate manufactured champion, sort of like John Cena was, but far more just pushed and fucking corporatized and manufactured. And he's not as big. He's not, it doesn't have the same mainstream appeal. None of that. This is just egregious. All right. But we move on. This match was, like I said in the beginning, this was a decent match. All right. A straight beat down from pillar to post. John Cena, just beat Cody Rhodes down. Just beat him down. Pretty much the whole match. Cody Rhodes started off with some good energy, but John Cena, they told the story that, he was the crafty veteran here, using, backwards tactics like he wouldn't have used before. So that made him get the upper hand on Cody Rhodes for most of the match. John Cena had 90% of the match on his side. He hit fucking Cody Rhodes with like 4 attitude adjustments, right? And Cody Rhodes kicked out of all of them. Here comes Travis Scott after the last attitude adjustment that John Cena hit. His music hits. Travis Scott gets no pop. Nobody, Majority of these motherfuckers probably never even heard of Travis Scott right before the John Cena heel turn. And majority of these motherfuckers could not care less about Travis Scott. All right. So Travis Scott got next to no reaction. Everybody was waiting on The Rock to come out. That's just what it was. We were all waiting on The Rock to come out because there were reports that The Rock may be there. Right. We don't get this. All right. Travis Scott, he did some interference. All right. He was getting ready to smack Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes ends up reversing on John Cena, hitting him with something, and then he walks over to Travis Scott, pulls Travis Scott into the ring, or he tells Travis Scott to get in the ring. Travis Scott gets ready to smack Cody Rhodes, and so Cody Rhodes hit John Cena with, I believe, the crossroads. Travis Scott pulls the referee out the ring at the count of 2. That's when Cody Rhodes tells him to get in the ring. So Cody Rhodes, he is getting ready to get smacked by Travis Scott. He blocks the shot, hits Travis Scott with the crossroads, and he goes for the pin on John Cena, I believe, but the referee is still out of commission. So there was that. Then John Cena, he grabs the title. No. So John Cena grabs the title, and he's getting ready to hit Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes grabs the title from him, and he's getting ready to smack John Cena with the title. John Cena, he's like cowering a little bit. He's like, no, don't do it. Cody Rhodes, he breaks down like a little bitch, says, all right, I can't do it. John Cena immediately kicks him in the nuts, smacks him in the face with the title, grabs the ref, pulls him back into the ring, and then here we go. 1, 2, 3. John Cena wins number 17, and The Rock is nowhere to be seen. All right? This entire show from top to bottom, while better than night 1, was not good at all. If night 1 was massively underwhelming, night 2 was a grand disappointment. All right, just a grand disappointment. I couldn't imagine spending $15,000 for some front row seats to see fucking Joe Hendry get jobbed out to Randy Orton, to see Liv and Raquel lose their titles to fucking Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria with zero storyline at all involved. Fucking just Travis Scott. Instead of The Rock, you get Travis Scott, not a wrestler, not anywhere near one, right? But you get Travis Scott at the end of WrestleMania 41. Like, when we look back on WrestleMania 41, when we look back as fans, 10 years down the line, 20 years down the line, even 5 years, even next year, we're going to look back on WrestleMania 41 as the worst of all time. And that's so fucked up because John Cena obviously was the headliner. So you got John Cena's name is forever going to be stained. His 17th world title win will forever be stained by the fact that Triple H was more concerned throughout this entire last 3-month period, more by him going into the Hall of Fame. He put more effort into his Hall of Fame speech, more effort into getting a fucking statue of himself put into the Hall of Fame, right? Just so much self-gratification, just jacking himself off all over the fucking place. Put way more energy into that than he did being creative for this show and giving the people a great WrestleMania. More concerned with shitting on the fans who were complaining and critiquing the show, because the show fucking sucks and has been sucking for the last few months, on top of, like, obviously it's been sucking for longer than that, but more people started to notice over these last few months that the show has just been absolute ass. And instead of taking a step back, being like, maybe I am, not necessarily putting my 100% into it. Maybe I haven't, given the fans exactly what they've been looking for over these last couple of months. Instead, what does he do? He tells the fans to fuck off. He tells the critics to fuck off. He says to stop complaining and just to be a fan. He's using Mark terminology. Like, literally only Mark say shit like that. Only marks will sit in my comment section, sit in the comment section of other critics, of other people who just have things to say. And they'll say, well, if you don't like it, why don't you just not watch it? If you don't like it, then you just can turn it off. If you don't like it, just be a fan. You're thinking too hard about it. You just need to be a fan. I'm just a wrestling fan. I just love wrestling. Like, shut up. Shut up. That is exactly what the fuck we got from Triple H. That's exactly what we got from Triple H. Instead of being creative, you have stained the legacy forever of John Cena, because his name will forever be attached to the worst WrestleMania of all time. That is what I have to say about this show. Let me know what y'all think down in the comments below. Did you like the show? Did you hate the show? Did you love the show? Let me know what you thought, all right? I respect all opinions. I'll be down in the comment section as well, okay? And once again, this has been your boy, Nate the Great, back with another video. This has been WrestleMania season. All right. Thank you guys for helping me get to 1,000 subscribers. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.